Newly appointed Police Commissioner Michael Matthews says he inherited a police force that was suffering from a decline in budget and resources, poor equipment, a poor standard of vehicles, and a very poor standard of police stations. Commissioner Matthews, who took up the position just 4 months ago, speaking on JTV Spotlight, says he wants to have a well-trained and equipped police service that is trusted by the community.
I want to take the force forward, and I want to be able to get to a stage where I have very well trained, very well equipped officers who are proud to do their job and whom the communities are proud of. Now, that isn't the case at the moment, and I'm the first to accept it, that there are people out there who don't trust the police. People won't come forward with information because of that lack of trust, and there are serious offences happening on occasions that frighten people. So I want us to have the ability to have a police service in the future that is trusted, that is committed, and that does keep people safe, and really does keep people safe, which means, and that's my vision statement, which means we've got to deal robustly with those who decide to commit the most serious offences here, and that involves people with firearms, people dealing with the importation of drugs, people stealing and robbing. Let's deal robustly with those few individuals that are making life a misery for the vast majority who live here.
Premier Dr. D'Orlando Smith on August 25th said government will provide funding for the recruitment and training of 20 new police officers, the purchase of 4 new vehicles for the police force, and 3 vehicles per year after that. In addition to the 20 new police officers, Commissioner Matthews said an additional 10 officers will be recruited from overseas to bring immediately needed skills and experience to the force, as he strives to build community confidence in local policing.
So the start is we increase our numbers over the coming months with the great assistance that's being provided by government now. You're going to see new vehicles rolling out, and today, and this is the first time I've had the opportunity to mention it, we've just been donated 3 very fast, powerful, what I call off-road motorcycles for our roads policing team. A willing member of the public come forward, wants to support policing, they're virtually brand new, is donating them to the force, so that will allow officers to go further, quicker, and be able to actually respond faster to people's needs in certain circumstances. Plus the new vehicles that we're going to bring online in the next few months, you'll start to notice more vehicles because they'll be properly marked vehicles with proper blue lights and sirens on them, so people can see and hear and feel that the police are about.
The police commissioner also voiced his concern about the criminalizing of young people and supports having them avoid the courts whenever possible through the introduction of diversion policies such as community service sentences for young offenders.
And one of those things I'm interested in looking at is diversion policies where we divert, in particular young people, young offenders, away from the courts and perhaps look at community sentences as an option, where somebody gives something back to the local community rather than get a fine or a criminal record.
A criminal record, yes.
Yeah, because a criminal record can be extremely damaging to a person's life. What might have been a minor incident in that person's own mind might become a major issue to them later on in life. And I've seen it many, many times where young people have got caught doing something silly and then later on, for example, want to join the police and suddenly find their application can't be taken forward because they got a criminal record, something like that. Or they want to do a university course and then somebody points out you're not a person of good character and so on and so forth. I've seen these things happen around the world. I can't speak for locally here with any level of expertise other than to say if we can find ways to ensure that we don't go down the path of always criminalising young people, then I think we should go out of our way to look at that and find alternatives to the court system where appropriate.
Okay, but as a commissioner, can you say to officers, listen, try your best to mitigate the situation without having to go through that full process if the opportunity exists?
Well, I have to have confidence and trust in all of my officers because every police officer throughout the world has that word, that discretion available to them. Now, the law is the law, and you know, any legal people listening to this will say, you know, the law is black and white. It's either an offence or it isn't an offence. But you know, I just think we have to be realistic. This is 2016, and you know, if some of my officers are using discretion out there on occasions, they're not going to get into a great deal of difficulty with me if at the end of the day it's the right decision that means that, you know, something minor has been dealt with by education and maybe a telling off on an occasion.
You save a kid's life.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Now you can watch a repeat of the entire Spotlight interview with Police Commissioner Michael Matthews on Sunday at 2:30 p.m. right here on JTV Channel 55. It is also available on JTV's website, jtvlive.net, JTV News YouTube channel, as well as Spotlight's Facebook page, Spotlight BVI.